Welcome back to Tiffin University Dragon Radio Live on Coast Country 100.9 WMJK, your home for Tiffin University Athletics. More information on Tiffin University by going to www.tiffin.edu. More information on athletics by going to gotiffindragons.com. We talked to the men's and women's track and field programs. Now let's talk a little women's golf. And Blake DeBruyn, the head coach of the Tiffin University women's golf program, here with us. Blake, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. Thank you so much for joining us here on Tiffin University Dragon Radio Live. It's our first time I think we've had a chance to talk here on the radio program. So, yeah, thank you so much for taking time out for us.
Not a problem. Thank you for having me up.
So you are the women's golf coach, but you actually were a athlete at Tiffin University before that, though. Tell us a little bit about your time. You played under Coach Darby Rogo on the men's side.
Yes, played 2 years under Darby. Finished up last year, then transitioned into GA for the first semester, and then took over head coaching 1st of January this year. It's been great transition. I've enjoyed it.
Have coaching something you always thought about doing in the past, or is it something that just when the opportunity arose, you're like, hey, this is something that I might be able to do?
No, coaching's always been in the picture. Really enjoy the sport. Golf has been my passion. Any time I get to stay in it, play, coach, it's a great opportunity for me to go.
Well, part of being a golf coach, you still get clubs in your hand every day, right?
Yeah, that's for sure.
Well, yeah, you're still out there hitting balls, so it's a great way to stay in the program. Let's talk a little bit about your kids. Talk a bit about what you have on this year's squad.
We got a few seniors who are playing well at the moment. Deborah's our number one player. She had a great fall, really being consistent. Have a freshman that's come in and played pretty well. She stepped up. And a few juniors that have stepped up and improved themselves over the fall semester. Looking forward to getting into the spring. I know the girls are looking forward to starting, practicing, getting ready for the tournaments coming up.
Well, you are off until April. I believe the Ohio Dominican Classic will be the first thing you guys get into in April, I believe. Talk a little bit about what the kids need to do. You know, golf in Ohio, not a whole lot's done in the wintertime. But you guys do have the Heminger Center. You're able to use that facility. What do you do over the wintertime to keep your kids sharp so they're ready to go come spring?
We make use of the Heminger Center, great facility that we use on Monday and Wednesdays. Get some hit some balls in there, and then we also heated range. We go up in Huron, which is we're able to get the girls out there swinging. They look forward to that. Being in Ohio, we struggle with the weather, but the more we get to stay indoors, the more we get to practice, swing, stay loose. I find it's easier to transition into outdoors. So we make sure the girls are able to do that, working out indoors.
Is that the consistency with the swing that you're trying to make sure they stick with over the wintertime?
That's the biggest thing, I think, is the consistency. That's what we need to make sure we're able to do indoors and out, make sure the girls are ready to perform.
And what's your strengths when you look at your squad this year as you get ready for the spring portion of your schedule?
I would say our strength at the moment, maybe our short game, putting, chipping. We've been working a lot on that. Fall, spring, struggled a bit in the beginning, but the girls have really moved forward, getting that short game and putting, and looking forward to them playing in the spring.
That's a lot of people, not even collegiate athletes that play golf. A lot of people need to concentrate more on that short game and putting. They say you drive for show.
Yeah, putt for dough.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's not only your student athletes that need to worry about that, but a lot of people in our audience and our listeners probably need to think about that as well, short game and putting.
Yes.
So talk a little, what about you as a coach? What do you bring to the table as a coach that's a little bit different than what you brought to the table as a player?
Being a coach, I think my mental side of the game, looking at us from a player, I'm able to take that into coaching and help the girls out in different aspects. I'm learning how to map out a golf course, stuff like that. I'm able to help the girls on that side of the game, which I think that they didn't look in the past.
Do you think some of the student athletes, especially at the collegiate level, the mental part of the game is one of the biggest obstacles to overcome, leaving that bad shot behind and getting ready for the next one?
Yes, I think that's one of the biggest things that gets in the way of many college golfers is...
Well, it gets in my way too, so it's not just them.
Not moving on, not moving forward, dwell in the past, and I think that counts for a lot of shots in a tournament.
Well, best of luck to you this spring. Thank you again for taking time out for us on Dragon Radio Live, and I appreciate it, and like I said, best of luck. Everybody, Blake DeBruyn, the head coach of the Tiffin University women's golf squad here on Tiffin University Dragon Radio. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, we'll transition from here. You just set that down. We'll transition from here to women's lacrosse. She's been excited for this all day. She wanted to go first, but I made her wait. Come on over, Coach. Coach Erica Brown and the women's lacrosse team. How you doing, Coach?
I'm good. How are you?
Excellent. I think it's our first time as well. We're going to do
Yes,
Dragon Radio. So
yes,
thank you so much for being here with us today. And you got some student athletes with you. Why don't we go ahead and introduce them? Ms. Maybe turned off. Maybe to turn those on. But go ahead and introduce yourselves. Tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, what you're studying here at Tiffin University, and what you're doing in the lacrosse field.
I'm Lacrosse. I'm a senior here at Tiffin. I'm from Lockport, New York. I'm majoring in sports management, and I actually play midfield.
I'm Allie Jesperger. I'm from Milan, Ohio. I'm also a senior, and I am a communications major, and I play defense.
I'm Madeline Kane. I'm also a senior. I'm from Westchester, New York, studying forensic psychology, and I'm on attack.
And my name's Alexandra Tooley, and I'm also a senior from Kent, Ohio, and play defense.
And you also have a special connection to our color commentator with the football and basketball games, Mr. Matt Kilber, don't you?
Yes, I am. He's my fiance.
Yeah, they got engaged. I believe it's the football game against, which was it, Matt? Walsh game? Yeah, before the Walsh game, he came in. He was a nervous wreck. I don't know what you did to him. But, well, Coach, talk a little bit about your kids. The lacrosse program is one of the newer programs here at Tiffin University. And, you know, the women's lacrosse game, from what I understand, is a little different than the men's game.
It is a little different. Not so much contact. There is contact. Refs usually call it real quick, but if you can get away with it, more power to you. This is actually the first graduating class at Tiffin that has played all 4 years.
Okay.
So I think they definitely have some ownership over this program. But it is a little different style and play, how we play from the men's game to the women's game. But yeah, it's different. So everyone should come out and check it out.
Well, you guys, you're back at it in first week of March on March 3rd, a home against Shepherd College. But then you got a run of a road game. So one home game, a whole bunch of road games. This will be pretty important for you guys to get that first win on that first home game.
I think it'll kind of set the tone of the season. Shepherd's a great program. They've had a lot of success in a short period of time. So it'll be good. We play Sunday. We don't play again until the next Sunday as well. And then it's, I think, 4 or 5 away games. So it's going to be a lot of miles under the bus. But I think right now, mentally, I think the girls are in a good position that they're chomping at the bit to get out there and practice. You can only practice against each other for so long. And so.
What's the strengths of your team this year?
I think midfield is probably going to be, huge strength for us. Coach Dixon, the coach before me, did a great job of recruiting our freshman class. She recruited very athletic, fast, good lacrosse players. So I think midfield is probably going to be our biggest strength this year. I think goaltending as well.
Well, I was going to ask about goaltending. Because goaltending has to be a huge point of emphasis in a game of lacrosse.
It definitely kind of dictates the flow of the game. If your goalie makes 1 or 2 big saves, it can definitely shift the momentum. Jess Bombard, our goalie, was a freshman last year, did amazing for us, and this year in practice she's just been coming up with some really, really good saves, and she's definitely taking control, leadership back there.
Is women's lacrosse a sport that's growing as far as Division II across the board as well? Not only around here, because in Tiffin, Ohio, kids who've grown up here weren't really exposed to lacrosse. And I was very excited when I heard that Tiffin University was getting a women's lacrosse team. But have you seen it grow greatly as well across the Division II landscape?
Across Division II, I think Division II lacrosse is probably the fastest growing sport within Division II. Within the college athletics itself, pretty much every other month you'll be seeing, so-and-so at it. But just within the GLIAC conference, Walsh, Findlay, Tiffin, Urbana, Grand Valley, it's just growing leaps and bounds.
Well, I wish you nothing but the best of luck, and I do really think it's great that there's a lacrosse program at Tiffin University. And it's a pleasure to meet your student athletes as well. Ladies and gentlemen, the women's lacrosse team at Tiffin University here on Dragon Radio. We'll go ahead and step aside and take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about men's and women's tennis and equestrian as well. All this and more coming your way next. It's Tiffin University Dragon Radio on Coast Country 100.9 WMJK and the BAS Sports Radio Network.